And mother thought she's rehydrating the child and kept giving ORSL, and the child kept purging, dehydrated, and almost went near death.
So what were some of the biggest challenges, you faced during this fight, during these 8 years? And did you ever feel pressured?
It was very disheartening, and social media trolling also. Some of the people who trolled me. In WHO recommended formula, ORS is 13.5 gram per liter.
Oh,
so all that extra sugar, what it does is they will say, do you have a documented case of death due to ORSL? No, there won't be, because...
Can you please explain for the audience why standardization in something as common as paracetamol is so important?
So this hits the liver very hard, and liver failure is a common cause for death in paracetamol toxicity.
Today we are joined by someone who truly needs no introduction. She is famously known as the ORS Lady of India, Dr. Sivaranjani Santhosh, a deeply trusted pediatrician and a fearless social activist. She went that extra mile to protect our country's children. When sugary drinks were being sold in the name of ORS, misleading parents and putting young lives at risk, she did not stay silent. For 8 long years, she stood up against a powerful industry, exposing the scam and fighting relentlessly for the truth. Her courage, persistence, and commitment to child health have made a national impact, and it's an absolute honor to have her with us today. Ma'am, a very warm welcome to you on Profound Discussions.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. It truly means a lot. I mean, you have taken out time for joining us. It means a lot. Thank you so much. So, ma'am, I want to take you back to the very beginning. So, when was the first time, you sensed that something was not right with the way ORS was being presented or, branded in the market? I mean, how did you come across it? Was there a specific incident or some patient interaction? How did you get to know that something is not right here?
See, I don't exactly remember the year or something. That's why it's somewhere between 2014 to 16 or 17. I remember one incident where a parent asked me, is ORSL same as ORS? And without even thinking, like I said, yeah, it's the same. I mean, I didn't give it a thought because it never occurred to me that somebody can come up with such an idea, notorious idea, to deceive people into believing their sugary liquid was ORS. Then down the lane, basically we were always taught that when a child is having diarrhea and you hydrate the child with ORS, usually they don't end up getting hospitalized, like if you give the appropriate hydration, unless they're vomiting continuously or something. Okay. So, or they're purging like continuously. I started observing that I was following all the protocols, I was guiding the parents right, but still the children were getting sick and they weren't improving. In fact, their diarrhea was worsening and some of them were needing hospitalization. Then that's where, you start wondering what was going wrong. So that was when I started asking parents, you go more deep, right? So I asked them to show me what they were actually giving their children. And to my dismay, it was that ORSL Tetra Pak with the picture of an apple. And then I read the label, I realized it had 110 grams of sugar per liter of the liquid. Whereas the recommended glucose in WHO recommended formula ORS is 13.5 gram per liter.
Oh,
So
that's
all
huge.
that extra sugar, what it does is, it is a disaccharide. So it pulls water into the gut and increases the diarrhea. So instead of like this parent bought this to improve her child's condition, but in fact that very thing was worsening her child's condition. So that's what alerted me. My only regret was I should have reached out to the authorities then only. Like it didn't occur to me. I just continued educating the parents, and later on, I started putting videos in my YouTube channel. But then in 2021 only, it occurred to me that array, it's not enough if I just educate a few people. There are millions and millions of children's lives are at stake. So I need to definitely make sure this ORS goes away from the branding or labels of all these sugary liquids.
Right.
That's when I started writing to the authorities in 2021.
21. Okay. Okay. So, ma'am, taking on something of this scale, I mean, the entire fight is not easy. Like for 8 long years, you stood your ground. I can only imagine the resistance that must have come your way. So, what were some of the biggest challenges, you faced during this fight, during these 8 years? And did you ever feel pressured to step back?
Stepping back was never on the cards. That would have never happened. One thing is, I expected a lot of support from Indian Academy of Pediatrics. They were indifferent, and some of them were very mean to me, made fun of me that my public interest litigation didn't do anything. And that if at all there comes a law like how infant food should not be marketed, in the same way, if there comes a law that these liquids should not be endorsed, then only they'll stop keeping their stalls in the IAP conferences. Some of them even went on to say that. And some of them wanted to dispel me from Indian Academy of Pediatrics because I raised my voice against them for not just for not supporting me for the cause, but for taking funds from this very company which has jeopardized the lives of so many children and for putting up their stalls in the conferences. So that was something really disheartening. And writing to the authorities, one letter to CDSCO should have solved the problem. It's not for a citizen to do this. It's for the responsible body to take it up and say, okay, write to the FSSA and say, see, you have given permission for this. So
Right.
this is putting a lot of lives at risk. So look into this. Something
Right.
like that. But that didn't happen. They just forwarded my letter to FSSAI and I had to follow up with FSSAI since then. And then I had to write to the health ministry. On 8 April 2022, they did issue an order, FSSAI, saying that ORS should not be used on the labels of foods and beverages. Okay, but that order was very short-lived. In July, on the 14th of July, that order was taken back, and they said companies with valid trademark can continue using it with a disclaimer: this is not an ORS. It's like saying I'm an apple, I'm not an apple. It's like saying I'm a medicine, I'm not a medicine. And in India, English literacy is very low, first thing. And many people don't understand the meaning of a disclaimer. And those who understand also don't read. Many of them just take whatever the person manning the pharmacy gives them. And these Tetra packs were everywhere, every pharmacy, every hospital, every school.
Yes.
I'm not talking about the supermarkets. I'm talking only about medical facilities and schools, leave alone the supermarkets. And
Right.
these people kept meeting doctors and promoting their product as a good product for hydration.
Hydration. Yes.
And
Yes.
later, when we started raising our voice, then they started promoting it as a good liquid for something called silent dehydration. That term is not there in any medical textbook till date. So it is their own thing. And so it was very disheartening, and social media trolling also. Some of their people would troll me and ask me how much has Cipla paid me, because that's their competitor brand. And some would say, why are you not taking on the other brands? Okay, though I did bring to your notice about the other brands having similar ORS on their labels. But if you realize ORS L is the one where 90% is ORS on the brand. And that's the one which started in 2003, more than 20 years. So, and that is the one even after this verdict, which continues to sell its ORSL and which has put now a sticker ERZL and is still trying to sell its remaining stock as ORS at the ground level. The company may say that, refute what I say by saying that no, we are not selling it as ORS, but that's what is happening at the ground level. I have video proofs of that.
Right.
And now they come up so fast with rebranding, whereas other brands, they are actually looking into it and trying to come up with, I hope so, something which won't mislead the people. Whereas these people have just rebranded it as ERZL, just a small change, everything else is same. And 87% less sugar. And again, they are selling it at the ground level as ORS. And it has sucralose to sweeten it because they want people to drink their product. So they want people like sweetness, right? So sucralose is generally recognized as safe. That way sugar is also generally recognized as safe. But we can't eat loads of it every day, right? Similarly, WHO has given a warning. Though sucralose is generally recognized as safe, having it every day or too much of it by itself can worsen insulin resistance and worsen the problem of diabetes and related complications like heart attack and stroke. It also said that it can disturb the gut microbiome and worsen the gut inflammation, and again the risk of diabetes and the related problems. In addition, children may develop sweet tooth, or adults also may develop preference for sweetness. And again, that itself is a problem. Like you start eating more sweet foods or drink, liquids with more sugars and jaggery, then again obesity is a problem. So all these things are there. And WHO in 2023 did say that. It's not my own story. Okay, there are many studies which substantiate this, and there are some studies which negate this also.
Okay.
And there are no studies below children 2 years of age, and so it's not recommended at all, sucralose. So at ground level, if they are selling it as ORS, first thing, it's very dangerous for, when it is given as ORS. Already the child is having diarrhea, and the sucralose itself is a disaccharide which can worsen the diarrhea. Okay. And even if they are not giving it as ORS, daily intake as a health drink is not right at all, given the present status, the discussion about it. And below 2 years of age, there are no studies, so it should not be given at this point. Okay, so it should not be marketed as a health drink at this point, according to me. And these medical representatives, they are meeting doctors and getting signatures to submit to FSSAI that their drink is safe for children. They've gone to that extent. And I seem to be the only person shouting, fighting. So it's like, I don't know why others are not, again, the way they have stood by me when the court verdict came. I really wish some few people are actually, the social media influencers are making videos, but we need certain medical bodies to come forward.
Right.
I don't know. The system is so corrupt.
Right. I agree.
It's so
Absolutely.
corrupt.
Absolutely. That says a lot about how difficult it is to, stand at the forefront. I mean, you were carrying the fight publicly while maybe a few people agreed privately, but there was no open support that you were getting. But still
Yeah,
you
just
continued.
that period when the verdict came, not verdict, FSSA order came, then many people stood by me. But after that, again, it's like only me. And my family says also there should be more doctors coming forward. Like it's always like you'll be targeted. And of course, like, subtle threats from these fake accounts, like how much term insurance is there on you won't live for long, kind of vague messages. And see, it does disturb me sometimes,
Of
but
course.
I will not give up.
That's the power. I mean, you are telling all these things so calmly right now, but I understand how intense it has been for you and for your family as well.
It's been
I
very
mean,
painful.
of course. But it's strange that, no other medical professionals are being vocal about it. They are not supporting you. That is very strange. I mean, on Instagram, on social media, we see so many pediatricians these days, they have made account and they claim that they are here to help people, they are here to help parents. But this matter is really serious. This is so intense. I mean, how they can play with the health of our children and nobody is being vocal about it. Rather, you are getting threats of this kind on a social platform. This is insane. This is shameful, actually.
Actually, this is shameful because, I mean, like, you are trying to push an artificial sweetener into everybody, saying WHO has said it is generally recognized as safe, so it's okay. But who will know what an artificial sweetener is? They will think it's health drink and drink 2, 3 packs, 4 packs. The other day, I met a dentist. Okay, dentist. And they used to think ORSL was health drink, and his son was drinking 3 to 4 packs a day. Yes. And to the extent that the boy became obese. It's because each pack has 5 teaspoons of sugar. So 3 packs means 15 teaspoons of sugar. So, like that, I mean, like, it's not just about worsening diarrhea and risking lives of children. And the worst thing is, they will say, do you have a documented case of death due to ORSL?
Oh
No,
my
there
God.
won't
Now
be,
people will come and, yeah.
because it will go as a diarrheal death. It won't go as a death due to
Oh.
ORSL. It will be documented as a diarrheal death.
So
But
the
I
main
did share on
reason, yeah.
social media 2 cases where one child, the pediatric endocrinologist shared it. The child
Okay.
had diarrhea, the child is a diabetic, and
Okay.
the mother kept giving this ORSL, apple wala, and
Okay.
the child's diarrhea worsened, sugar level went up, blood glucose level, and the child developed diabetic ketoacidosis and coma, and the child was saved. So same thing like that, many children would be there who wouldn't have been saved. I won't be able to get proof. Their argument is stupid. Okay. And another child from Bangalore, burns. And mother thought she's rehydrating the child and kept giving ORSL, and the child kept purging, dehydrated, and almost went near death and was pulled back by our pediatrics team, the pediatrics team. Okay. So there's their argument that, tell who died because of ORSL. I mean, like, basically, see, if you are ethical, only thing they are trying to do is finding legal loopholes and saying we are always following the law. But there is something called ethics.
Yeah.
Ethics.
Right. Right. Right.
Even in business, there have to be ethics.
Right, right. On the same lines, I mean, you just mentioned about this branding and, smart branding and all. Today, I see that there are not just for ORS, for other products also, there are many brands who are using reassuring front of pack claims saying like no added sugar or sometimes sweetened with dates or, clean ingredients, such phrases that actually make parents feel that they are choosing wisely. But when you actually turn the pack around, yeah, and read the ingredient list, you often see some technical terms like fructose or artificial sweeteners under some biochemical name, like things most parents they do not fully understand. So as ordinary caregivers, like most of the masses who are not nutrition experts, so how are such parents supposed to interpret this? I mean, what practical steps
Slow
can
farm
they?
was the first to start this and messed up the whole system in this matter. Okay, they were started using jaggery and started advertising as no sugar. Jaggery and sugar or sucrose, that's all, full stop. Okay, if jaggery has a little extra iron and you want to choose between white sugar and jaggery, okay, you go ahead and choose jaggery. But if you are advertising it as no sugar, you are actually deceiving the parent that there is no sucrose in it. There is no sugar in it, whereas jaggery is sugar. Okay, so that's how their whole business model was built on that. And later, when we all started protesting, recently many other brands which had come up with similar idea like Grizzo, Little Joyce, True V, now they're saying no refined sugar at least. Earlier,
Yeah,
against the added sugar column, they used to mention as zero. Now, at
right.
least they are mentioning how many grams of sugar is there. And in their ingredient list, they're mentioning as jaggery and unrefined sugar. Okay, so that is an improvement. So people like us, when we keep on saying it loud and clear and get trolled, but at least some good is coming out of it.
Right.
And
It's a
some
big
of
win.
the
It is a big
pediatric
win.
influencers said they will stop endorsing milk mixes and gummies. I did take a lot of stress, and so obviously, see, I'm calling out my own fraternity. It's not nice for me also. But I
I
had to
understand.
decide between, like, am I on the parent side or should I just keep quiet? So when
Right.
so many millions of parents are being misled, I felt I should alert them. So it's not nice for me also, but anyway, something good has come out of it now. They said they won't endorse milk mixers and gummies. So that's one more good thing that came out of whatever stress I was taking. It's not easy at all. It's very stressful and it's not a nice feeling at all, actually, to be very frank. Then now also Slurp Farm in its infant cereal, it adds dates powder. Okay,
Okay.
but actually, ideally, up to second birthday, we don't want to sweeten food. So again, like that's not a good idea, but people think that's healthy, and the
Because
idea is
sweetener, yeah,
you get you baby to sweet food at an early age, then baby will want sweet food all her life. So we don't want that to happen. That is the whole idea. So giving infant cereal which is sweetened with dates powder is not a great idea. Don't sweeten it. Just bland taste. Okay. So and there is one more brand I forgot. They add maltodextrins, some lactogro or something. I don't remember the brand name. It's there in one of my posts. And
okay,
unfortunately, FSSAI doesn't recognize maltodextrins and date sugar as sugar. So in their
okay.
label, they can advertise as no sugar. And if you
And
see the composition, it is maltodextrins.
which is
So,
again a
see,
sugar.
basically, business you do, but don't deceive. The parent,
Yeah,
if she
right,
wants
right,
to give milk mix,
right,
that's her choice.
right,
Okay.
right.
But if she's being deceived into believing
Exactly.
that she's giving something which she actually wants to give, but in reality, it is not what she wants to give. So
Right,
you're
right,
deceiving the parent. That is not fair.
right, right, right. You know, the same thing happened with me as well. I bought this. I mean, it was from Farm only. I do not remember the exact name of that particular product, but it was written very clearly that no added sugar. And I am not in the favor of giving my baby sugar until 2 years of his age. He is 13 months right now. So I just got it and I tasted it before I gave it to him, and I felt like it's quite sweet. I mean, it's how is it possible that it's sweet without any added sugar? I gave it to my baby once. Thankfully, he rejected it. He did not like the taste or whatsoever. He did not take it. And then later, I think after 2, 3 days only, I came across a video from you only, and I saw that, oh, it had sugar. So I stopped. I just thought that I won't give it again. Thankfully, he rejected it. But you said, you raised a very right point that, it's up to the mother, up to the parent, whether they want to give it or not, but at least they should not be deceived. Now,
Yes.
I do not want to give him sugar, any kind of sugar for that matter,
But
but
maybe
I just did not
because you
know.
are made to believe that it didn't have sugar.
Right. So that's a major concern. It's with so many products. I mean, not just food products, even when it comes to medicines that we use very commonly for children. I have heard you speak actually about those paracetamol drops, um, and how the dosage strength varies from brand to brand. So
That's
that's a
dangerous
major,
also.
yeah.
That's one danger we dread.
Right, right. I mean, it can confuse caregivers. So you had mentioned about the standardization, if I remember correctly. So what do you think? I mean, can you please explain for the audience why standardization in something as common as paracetamol is so important, and
It's
what
very
risks
important
parents?
because
Yeah.
it's a drug available over the counter for control
Yes.
of fever, right? And again, in India, most parents don't know how to read the label.
Correct.
Okay, so we have 1 ml 100 mg, 1 ml 120 mg, 5 ml 120 mg, 5 ml 250 mg, 5 ml 500 mg paracetamol.
Okay.
Now the doctor, most common mistake that happens is doctor prescribes say 3 ml of 5 ml 120 mg milligram paracetamol if the doctor prescribes. Like 3
Okay.
ml doctor prescribes. So that comes to 72 milligram per dose.
Okay.
Okay. Now what happens is many parents they buy the paracetamol drops where 1 ml is 100 mg and they take it 3 times and give. So instead of giving 72 milligrams, they are giving 300 milligrams. That is almost 4 times overdose.
Of the
Now
prescribed
this
one. Yeah.
4 times overdose, they'll give 4 to 5 times in the day.
Right.
Okay, so 300 force 1200 mg they are giving when the doctor has per day. Actually, the doctor has suggested 280 milligram per day.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
so this hits the liver very hard, and liver
Correct.
failure is a common cause for death in paracetamol toxicity. And all of them don't live in cities or urban areas or places where there are tertiary care centers, and we don't know how many children pass away. We only know like those children who reach the hospitals. We only know about those children about whom the newspapers report, isn't it?
Right.
Yeah. So to avoid this confusion, not only me, many pediatricians want this one paracetamol strength, one India, so as to avoid this
Right.
confusion.
Right. That's very important. That's very important. While, ma'am, we have been talking about medicine safety, food safety, and like preventing harm, there is also another very powerful aspect of pediatric care, which is the prevention itself. And this connects to another area where awareness is still low among the masses. Again, the awareness is low. So as parents, we have recently started hearing more about the vaccine that helps prevent cervical cancer, but mostly in the context of girls. But I have heard you mention that this vaccine is important for boys as well. So could you help us understand why this vaccine is not just for girls, and what parents should basically know about this vaccine in general?
So human papilloma virus, HPV, okay,
Okay.
human papilloma virus, it has multiple strains. Some
Okay.
of them disturb the cells of the cervix, that is the last part of the uterus, cervix, and they disturb the cells of the anus, penis, and oral cavity, mouth cavity, in such a way that these cells can easily become cancerous cells. And some of the strains cause warts, W-A-R-T-S, warts. Okay, so warts, W-A-R-T-S, warts. Warts are those pimple-like things which you get, they last for a very long time, those kind of. Okay. So what we are doing by giving this vaccine is we are preventing infection by human papilloma virus so that the cells don't get predisposed to cancer. Okay. Even after the vaccine also, women especially every 3 months, once they become sexually active, not every 3 months, sorry, every 3 years, they should get their pap smear done. Okay, pap smear means to check whether there's any transformation of the cells of the cervix into precancerous stage. So that also should continue. Okay. And the minimum age is 9 years. If you take your first dose between 9 and 14 years, then it's 2 doses 6 months apart. But if you take your first dose on the 15th birthday or later, then it will be 3 doses. And maximum age is 45 years. And these problems of HPV infections are more common in people who are promiscuous. I mean, like if the husband is promiscuous also, the wife is also exposed, vice versa. Okay, so obviously more strains of HPV can reach you, right? So those of you who are older, like say 30 plus, 35 plus, 40 plus, instead of randomly just going and taking the vaccine, I think you should discuss with your gynecologist on a one-on-one basis and then take a decision.
Okay, all right. So this the minimum age is 9 years, irrespective of the gender. I mean, it's for both boys and girls. The minimum age for this vaccine is 9 years.
9 years.
9 years. Okay, okay, perfect. All right. So, ma'am, while these vaccines, they protect our children, from future illnesses, there is also the question of immediate emergencies. And you have been a strong advocate for teaching children basic first aid and CPR from a young age. So, since this is something that can actually save lives, the question is, what practical steps can be taken to integrate CPR training into our school systems across the country?
Yes, it's very, very important. Most deaths in schools, accidental deaths in schools, are usually either due to choking or drowning. Okay, choking is the most common. Okay, even otherwise also among toddlers, choking is the most common cause for accidental death. So first aid for choking should be known to every teacher and every staff member, and preferably all high school students as well. In many Western countries, if you see in every class, there will be a printout, like, the protocol. If somebody chokes, do this. If somebody has a seizure, do this. And if somebody needs CPR, do this. Okay. So that good it is, that safe it is for children, their school. And here, like hardly anybody, leave alone teachers, like many people in public service don't know first aid for choking or seizures or CPR. Even now, they will put a key in the hand. If the person has a seizure, they'll put a spoon in the mouth. Okay, these are all things which we shouldn't be doing. And if you drown, near drowning victim, when you take them out from the water, like how they show in the movies, they'll just press on the stomach. That's also very wrong practice. So
Okay.
ideally, like that's why I raised that petition that school should become safe.
Right, right. I mean, this
Yeah.
is one skill and it can mean the difference between life and death. So it
Yes.
really
Yes.
should be basic life education, and that's
Yes.
correct. I did sign that petition, by the way. So I did forward it to many of my friends. Let's hope that, it becomes functional. Yeah. As someone who strongly supports breastfeeding, I want to understand this better from you. That many mothers say that breastfeeding takes time. It takes patience and, of course, the right kind of guidance, almost like a skill that both mother and baby learn together. So, in your view, how can we create a more informed and supportive environment for mothers who actually want to breastfeed?
So one is having sessions not only with the mother being there, but with the father and the rest of the family members being there even before the delivery. Like
Oh,
what to
yes.
anticipate, what is going to happen in the first 2 days, and then what is going to happen, how important it is to maintain skin to skin contact, and how
Right,
important it is not to make negative comments around the mother, how important it is to encourage the mother
right,
and leave it
right,
to the doctor. I mean, like there are certain situations where really the baby may be, dehydrated and maybe may need a top up, but that let the pediatrician assess and decide. So,
right,
like basically a cheerful, supportive environment which doesn't talk negative around the mother, especially around the mother. Even if they have some concerns, let them discuss in
separately.
another room and
Right,
talk to the pediatrician rather than discussing in front of the mother because her morale will go down.
right, right,
And once the morale goes down, and obviously it sets in a vicious cycle where the milk production will come down. And also, we
right,
need to counsel them about how important it is to allow the baby to latch whenever the baby wants to latch, because it is all dependent on demand and supply, as we all know, and
yes,
mother being confident, these two things.
right, right,
So most of them think that by giving all these random medicines, the supply will increase. May, but more important is to allow the baby to latch and allowing the mother to be peaceful and not
right,
keep on confusing her by giving some random advices,
right.
and being supportive, encouraging the mother, and allow lot of skin to skin contact.
Okay, okay, right. So basically, it really comes down to compassion and correct guidance, right?
Correct guidance, empathy.
Empathy, yes, right. Okay. So, ma'am, before we wrap up, I would love to ask you a few quick pediatric questions that many parents worry about. I will just take your crisp advice on each. Okay. So, there's this one thing, G6PD deficiency. What should parents know about G6PD deficiency?
So that's a rare condition, and they should definitely check with the doctor what medicines are not allowed, because there are certain medicines which can break the red blood cells
Right.
and cause something called hemolytic crisis. Hemo means blood, lysis means breakdown.
Okay.
And
Okay.
that can increase the level of something called bilirubin and it can cause jaundice.
Okay.
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 And
Okay.
these cells which break down can even clog our urinary pathways.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, the hemoglobin and all those things. So,
Okay.
they should know what medicines not to give to the child.
Okay, okay, sure, sure. How can parents gently break the habit of bottle feeding?
Oh, that's very important because we want parents to break this habit by first birthday. So they can introduce something called transitional object, because some babies want bottle for sleeping. So
Okay,
slowly let baby associate sleep with something else like a doll, a favorite doll or something, or
okay,
a blanket. Huh? And so much so that whenever that doll is there, baby is able to sleep. That is one thing. Second thing, this night feeds. So suppose
Right.
baby is taking, say, taking bottle feeds 2 times in the night. Let's focus on one bottle feed. So decrease it by say 5 ml every 5 days, 6 days. Slowly,
Okay.
slowly, you'll decrease the quantity and you can shift to water and then slowly stop it. So that's done. Baby will sleep through that.
Right.
Okay, then you focus on the other bottle feed. Do it the same way. Because after first birthday, easily babies can sleep through the night. So slowly we are basically removing that learned hunger from them.
Okay.
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 So that's how usually, and it works.
Okay, okay, all right, all right. That's quite doable. I mean, reducing the feeds and then stopping it eventually. Okay. Then, for parents of twins, how can they nurture affection without fostering competition among the twins?
Not only twins, siblings also.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So for them to understand this fact that, about caring for each other, that doesn't happen for a 2-year-old or a 3-year-old, okay? So
Right.
don't expect that. Hmm?
Okay. Okay.
So after that only little bit we can make them understand that.
Right.
Okay, but from the beginning, ensure one thing. See, he's doing like that, you also should do like this. That thing you don't do.
Right. Right.
Comparing. Okay. And sometimes what parents do is, okay, I'll give it to your sister. If you see, I'm going to give it to her if you don't do this. See,
Right.
she's getting it, you're not getting it. So there only you are actually creating rivalry.
Right. Right.
So these things need to be avoided actually.
Right, right. Beautifully said. Beautifully said. The final question, ma'am. What's your take on sunscreen for babies? From what age, if at all, should parents start using it?
So to my knowledge, huh? So
Yes.
minimum age is 2 months.
Okay.
But if you are able to protect your baby's skin with the help of hats, umbrellas, or prams, it's better you go with the physical barriers.
Okay.
Only in situations where you are not able to get to do that, then opt for sunscreens.
Okay. Okay. Very helpful. Okay, wonderful, ma'am. This has been such an insightful and powerful conversation. Thank you very much for your time, your wisdom, and for continuing to be a strong voice for children's health in this country. It was an absolute honor hosting you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. It was my pleasure. Thank
Thank,
you.
thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.